Hello, welcome to the Stockhypers. It's my favorite podcast, and it's Danny's favorite podcast, and hopefully yours as well. How are you doing today, Danny?
I'm good, Brian. How are things over across town?
Oh, they're good, a little rainy, but sun shining at the moment, just rain on the way. I don't know why I moved to San Diego so many years ago. I thought it was like 70 all the time.
It is pretty close, Brian. Actually got lucky with the rain passed us by. Speaking of rain,
hmm
how was your stocks today, which is, what day is it today? Thursday, the what?
Thursday the 6th, Danny.
6th of March, and the free fall continues. I had a
Yes.
tough
Guess
day.
what happened today?
Uh, which part of the day is it?
It's the part of the
Yeah.
day where the whipsaw
Oh.
of the tariffs happen, right?
So now honestly, it's night
I can't keep up, Danny. I'm having trouble, honestly.
ridiculous. No way to lead. Ridiculous. We don't do politics, but there's no way to fucking lead, dude.
All right. Well, yeah, politics aside, it's kind of hurtful what's going on in the market. Um,
Kind of?
kind of, yeah. I
Kind
think
of hurtful.
you and I have been a little bearish over the past 6 months, and now we're really seeing that take hold, right?
Yeah, I sold about a third of my entire portfolio today, Brian. This morning I thought that's it. Enough of the whipsaw, pardon me. I'm out. Good things. I'm down about 3% today. Should have sold more as it turns out. As you know, I'm a long-termer. I have really no interest in selling and buying, but man, I just see so many echoes of the 2020 collapse or the, 28 collapse as opposed to just a bear market.
It's so true, right?
So that's no fun and games in that, Chief. So it's a good thing I did. The only thing that's up virtually is my Kathy arc, the S arc, which is up about 10 points today. So that is the only good news of the day, Brian. I got out while the getting was horrible. How about you and yours?
Oh, Danny.
You seem down.
No,
Brian, you don't have your normal vigor.
I know, right? I can't say that this has been a good week. I was in the shorts, right? I had like the short Kathy Wood stock stuff. I had the short
You had or you didn't sell it, did you?
I did. I sold it. So
Oh,
everything was doing
Brian.
well. I had some gains on those. And then yesterday it felt like maybe we had hit a bottom. So I got out of all of them. And then sure enough, I opened up the app this morning on Robinhood and that's where I should have been sitting. Um, it's just a matter of missing out on the opportunities. I don't have
Yeah.
much bullish stuff that went down, but I could have got another 5%, maybe even more in some of those.
So the tariffs are here except for a car. I mean, honestly, dude,
Mhm.
how do you possibly run an enterprise as big as the United States like this? All the business and myself included
Yeah.
are affected by it. I import a shitload. It's my entire business. Mine just went up 20% March 4th.
Danny, let's pivot to that just for a second. I would love to hear because your new company that we
Right.
still don't have a name that you're announcing yet, but your
But
nuts and seeds company, are you everything's like inside of this
virtually everything,
product
yeah,
is
there's
made in America or grown in America or Canada.
correct. Right.
But
Everything packaged, including will be recyclable and compostable.
okay.
Virtually all in America. So I'm thankful my current business now, which pays the bills, is virtually all imported because we sell a high quality product for less, right? That's the idea.
But
So
are you worried about the tariffs for like the packaging? The packaging, is it made here or is it made here?
packaging, mostly as I found out,
hmm
if you are in America and you have packaging by anyone that sells of any volume, it's going to be from China. It
Okay.
might be printed here, some spin on it, but virtually everything you get will be from China. So the whole fallacy of everything we made over here overnight is inaccurate. So
Hmm.
packaging will be a fairly small part of it. So I'm not overly concerned for that part. There could be a 20% tariff, but you're looking at maybe a, single digit cost increase, right?
Oh,
So
okay. Because it's still cheap, right? But
right,
over, yeah.
because it's just packaging, it's not the core of the business,
Mhm.
which is American made nuts and
Right.
seeds. Virtually they'll all be made in America. A big part of that is quality control. I know there's a lot of people get nuts from Turkey and Greece and various things like that. We're gonna go all American made. Well, one, because it's
So
American.
So made in America nuts, and then your nut sack is made in China.
Yeah, okay. Let me
Is that what it
digest
is?
that. Let's rephrase that because
You
we're
have a
just
China nut
confusing.
sack that you're putting your
Right.
nuts in, and that is made in China. So that's the only thing subject to the tariff. So you're
Yes, and unfortunately, your gutter humor is not subject to tariffs. Or you got to have a bill on that one, yes. So the packaging, yes, is from China, Brian, in your sophomore juvenile pyrotechnic way of explaining it to us.
now have you landed?
Packaging
Okay,
is
so
going to be a big part of it. One,
okay.
for convenience, it's cool looking.
Mhm.
It'll be good for gifts. It's recyclable and compostable. So I do packaging that no one else will ever do,
Mhm.
as well as a mixture of nuts and seeds will ever do. So thankfully, that part is not affected by the tariffs.
So I've discovered something today, and I've everybody probably that's listening to this probably knows about it, but TikTok has a TikTok shop, right? Um,
Yes,
and I'm not discovering that it exists. I'm
sure.
discovering that there is a use case for it, and I've just
Absolutely, Brian.
scratched the surface on this. So can I tell you a little bit about so far what I know? And this is like an ongoing lesson for me to figure out how TikTok Shop really will work for products such as yours and mine. Okay.
Right. Let me set the table a bit. So, Brian,
Mhm.
you've done incredibly well. You sell on Amazon. You
Yes.
made virtually all of your sales in that online. So it's not
Mhm.
like you're like for me coming mostly from brick and mortar. I've done it before.
Yeah.
So for you, I guess it almost be old school now because you haven't used TikTok Shop. So you've been successful, Shopify, Facebook's ads, etc. So it's not like you're
Yeah.
coming out of the blue. Okay. So hit
Yeah.
me up with what you're doing with the
So
Shop
I'm
Shop.
jumping into TikTok Shop and I'm jumping in with just one product. So we have in the beauty side of our business, we have several types of waxes that we produce.
So
But
are you selling the life-size Danny statue? Is that the deal? Because I'm not sure.
you
Okay,
should
go
see
ahead.
that thing melt in the summer.
I'll bet
The
it does. Oh,
big
it's wax, you're
Danny
right.
candle.
Good point. Okay, so you got that on TikTok Shop.
Right. So we decided we have most of our stuff is geared towards distributors or people who are making stuff rather than a finished product. But we do make a massage candle that we have as a finished product that can go directly to retail. So we're going to start with that on TikTok Shop. So it's sometimes it could be, from what I understand, quick approval process. You got to have all your paperwork and everything for them to get you approved for the TikTok Shop, right? Makes sense. And then it's a matter of either taking your stuff from Shopify or inputting the descriptions, pictures, and all that stuff about your product. Well, you can run ads just like you do on Amazon to sell stuff on TikTok Shop. But the more interesting thing for that particular platform is the affiliate program. Are you familiar with this? How it works?
I am, but I think the initial thought of affiliate, you think of someone like Kim Kardashian having a
Mhm.
sponsor, but in reality, TikTok Shop, one of the brilliant moves they did is, I guess, a micro influencer. Is that right?
I'm not even, I guess you could say that they're micro influencers, but the interesting thing about TikTok is it's not based, the success of your posts are not based on how many followers you have.
Right. So why would you want to use an influencer, I guess, is the question. If
I
they're
would
in,
imagine you're still, if you have a million followers, those followers are going to be tuned into what you're sharing. So you still have influence at a scale, right? But
sure.
it's possible, depending on the video and the content creator, that somebody who has 10, well, let's say 1,000, because you can't be an affiliate unless you have 1,000 followers. So these 1,000 follower accounts could actually have a video that does, 100 million views because it
Right.
just whatever hits a
100
zeitgeist.
million views featuring your product, is that right?
Yeah, featuring your
And
product.
what is the form of compensation towards them besides an
So they
autograph
get a
from
commission.
both of
So it's
us?
basically like they're salespeople for your
Okay,
products, right? And
right,
I decided to just I don't have an expensive product. This one sells for $20, right? So it's a 20% commission. And then, usually what is happening is you're paying for the shipping as the seller as well. So you don't have a ton of margins with this. The idea is a small light product that sells for a lot of money is probably golden on these platforms.
so
But my
Brian, let me jump in there. So you like the smaller price point? Do you think that helps, $20 opposed to 100, obviously?
No, not in my case. I don't think so because I think if to get influencers who are really excited about selling your product, I think a higher price point so that
Right,
they
that's
make a
what I think.
larger dollar commission rather than percentage
Okay.
is more attractive. I could be wrong. I'm just trying to discover all of
And
these.
what cut is typical? Is there a set cut or do you guys negotiate, or how does that work? Let's
I'm
say I'm an influencer.
mhm.
How do I find out about you? And
Mhm.
then how does that whole thing work, to the best of your knowledge?
So there's a matchmaking process that TikTok does, right? So I can once I've established my account and I'm looking for affiliates, I can go to a search and look for affiliates that have already posted videos within the category of product that I'm selling. So mine would be beauty or candles or home things. And
Right.
so I can see this giant list and I can see how much product they've sold in the last month. What is the generation of revenue that they've, how much views have their videos gotten. So I can see all of these analytics, which is fantastic to pick
Mhm.
and choose. And they could also pick and choose me. So it's a
Interesting.
acceptance
Can
part of
they
it, right?
also, are you on some kind of list? Can they ever seek you out?
Yeah, they could seek me out as well. They could, on their side of it, they can seek out that same type of search. I'm looking for beauty products. I'm looking for,
Okay.
Danny's nuts. I'm looking for
So
that.
that's kind of it's kind of a two-way street.
Yeah,
You might in time get queries from them as well, right?
yeah. So the way it worked for me this time, and there's other ways to go about this. I picked 100 different TikTok accounts and I
Damn.
sent them an invite where they would get a free sample and they would get 20% of that $20 sale, which is $4, right? And so I'm sure most of them would need to get a free sample. Now, the free sample thing, that's the investment for me, right? That'll be the investment for you if you go this route. And for mine, it's kind of like it's not that great like it's a little nerve-wracking. I sent out 100
Mhm.
and my product cost is 5 and then the shipping cost,
Shipping.
I thought it would be similar to what I pay Shopify to ship it out, but it's not, it's more. So I
Yeah.
think TikTok is padding those shipping fees a bit because it would usually cost me about $4.15 to ship it, but with TikTok it was $6.15 to ship out that sample.
Wait a second. Okay. So does it ship through TikTok then?
Yeah, TikTok, I'm
Oh,
buying
they
the
got
shipping
everything,
label
don't
through
they?
TikTok.
Oh, no shit. Well,
Yeah.
I know with Shopify and those, there's a bonus because you buy in bulk, right? So if you just send something through Shopify, brothers, you may forget and send the exact same thing as a present, let's say, for example, to me, just through Brian,
Mhm.
it would cost you more anyway. So, I don't know if it's that much more expensive on TikTok than just for the average person to walk down to USPS and sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, because I think that TikTok is also getting the
Discount, just
economy of scale from
keeping it.
USPS that Shopify is getting. Maybe not as much as Amazon. They're probably the monsters in the room, but
Oh,
they must be getting like because I can go
sure,
to
of
Pirate
course.
Ship. I could
Yes.
even ship it a lot cheaper from Pirate Ship. So if Pirate Ship can ship it cheaper,
Oh,
TikTok
interesting.
should be
So
able to.
TikTok is more like a pirate ship or one of those
Yeah,
type
it's
of.
kind of like that, but they're definitely taking a
Well,
percentage
let me ask this
typically.
question. Okay, if that's the case, if you have your product at a sale and when you ship it, do you
Mhm.
have to ship it through TikTok, the actual product?
That's
Or
right.
is that right, or do you know?
So far, that's what from these sample orders, because I haven't had a real order yet.
Mhm,
Unless I can decide to give them just a tracking number instead of buying the freight for them. I don't
mhm.
know yet. I'm not sure, but at least for the samples, I could not find a place where I can just give it tracking to make sure that they saw that it was
So
complete.
you can't just have Amazon fulfill it then.
No, no, yeah, I don't see a way to do that without them. I
That,
mean, I
that
could do it,
sucks.
but I don't know how that leaves the order open. Maybe it dings my account. I need to figure this out because that's a little giving me a bit of
Wow.
hesitation, right?
That's interesting. Well, couldn't charge too much. Okay, Brian, again, on the numbers, if it normally costs you, if you ship it through Shopify and Amazon, let's say it costs $5, how much more would it cost on TikTok to ship? How much more is it?
It's over $1.
Okay. So that's only like 20% more. It's not like horrible
20% more is,
on
you
shipping
know,
sucks.
that's a
Yeah.
lot of revenue given up
Mhm.
because when I'm looking at TikTok Shop and I'm not really tempted to buy anything unless it's on some sort of deal, which I can't do with those types of margins, right?
Have you ever bought anything on TikTok Shop before?
I have things in my cart. I haven't pulled the trigger on it. Everything I get
Never have.
excited about stuff. Mostly it's like cell phone holders. Like that place has like kind of crazy
Sure.
cool cell phone holders.
I'd imagine.
And I'm just like, that's really neat. Do I need it? I don't know, but it's like
We don't need anything
$9.
here. Need is no longer the issue,
Yeah.
except of course when it comes to your health.
Yeah.
That's where I come in later on, of course.
But here's what I thought as I was going through those moments of like hesitation of whether to do it or not. I think the idea for me would be to make a sample pack. So we have six different fragrances. So doing like it would normally at 20 bucks, it would be $120 for someone to buy this six pack box, right?
Mhm.
I've already got the boxes because that's how I'm shipping them. All I need to do is do an assortment within the box. And then I could maybe figure out because the shipping isn't going to be that much more expensive than shipping one, right?
Mhm.
Because it'll be under $5. I mean, other £5. So if I did it for like 90, like $99, not only does that give me a much bigger sale and make a better margin for the shipping, but it also entices the affiliate, the account
A
that's trying to
bigger,
sell it
right.
to get a bigger commission and work harder.
Well,
Because
I would
four
say
bucks,
that
like I'm not having a lot of people reach out of that 100 to get samples. So I'm thinking, they're not that interested in making $4 and they're not sure that it's going to scale and I'm going to sell a ton of them. So
I would say that the thing that just jumps to mind for me is do that. I wouldn't offer the affiliates a free sample of the whole thing. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to send you out six candles, right?
right,
I wouldn't offer them that, but I would say try that because this is just, I guess, bonus money or expansion of your sales, right?
it
So
is. Yeah,
I would say in that case, man, dude, well, both. I think your answer with both is you'd compare the single item, which would be how much? $20.
$20.
Or you get a six pack for 90,
Yeah,
right? Everyone
99,
knows that's less.
98,
Or
something like that. Yeah.
$100 is a little bit cheaper. I would do both of them and then see if your affiliates take that up.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're in the try it phase, right?
I'm in the complete try it phase for this
And try them
marketing
both,
channel.
dude. Try them
Yeah.
both. Try a four pack. Maybe there's a sweet spot there. This is essentially, it's almost a version of live streaming, kind of recorded live streaming, basically. All the affiliate shit I've seen was I was apprehensive about having this set up for me is that you kind of lose control of your brand.
Yes.
I still have the same stick. Oh, TikTok messed up. There's a factory error. It's cheap for now. Oh my gosh. The other one is don't tell the people who paid 50 for it yesterday, it's only 20 today. You see a lot of the same snake oil shtick, which would be my concern, but I guess it's
It works
2025.
though.
Get with it.
There's
It
some
does work.
great, like I'm watching and listening to podcasts and they're talking about this sales channel and there's just
Well,
some amazing
they're gonna make,
stories.
I think 76 billion by the end of next year on it. So it's
Yeah,
huge. It absolutely
it's
works.
huge.
It's a matter of are you that touchy with your brand? Probably not. We're not all Tiffany's. Let's not kid ourselves. But
Mhm.
I would say it's absolutely good to look into it, Brian, especially you had success in other fields doing that.
Yeah. Next
Like
week when we come
anything,
on, I should have better information. Like the samples should have been, arrived and maybe I'll see a few videos. I'm interested to see what people do with the product to see, what kind
right.
of videos that they make.
And
And the nice thing
because
is you get to reuse the videos.
and then on the match, so do you post the videos or they do, but you're gonna see them and repost them, right? Okay, that makes
Yeah, I'll
sense.
repost them. Yeah, for sure.
So when you went and looked at other
If they're
affiliates,
good, like that has to, it has to resonate, right?
yeah. Did you look at the other videos that they've done? Just happen to check
Yes,
out, obviously.
absolutely. Yeah.
So this is one of the examples we're doing here is the vast majority of stuff is not like I did it, I sold out in an hour, we got a big warehouse,
Yeah.
and 6 months later we're at 20 million units. That's not how 99.9% of it goes, as I know, we
Right.
all know. So this is really the nuts and bolts of it. This is what virtually every person will be going through is what you're going through,
Yeah.
which is why it's valuable. We can milk it for it. So, okay, what is your take on how TikTok is running this? Because last episode we talked about the ineptitude of Bed Bath and Bankrupt, right? And they got it coming.
Right.
Where Sam's Club was pretty good, and then Amazon was great. You made sold $1 million company. So where would you rank TikTok? Your initial impressions from not knowing shit about it to a couple days in looking at it. How would you rank? What do you like, don't like on it, Brian?
I think it's so interesting, and I think in some respects it's like just getting started. So I would say they're doing a fantastic job because I get emails every day about updates and changes to this program, and whether or not it's positive for me or not, it means that they're iterating so quickly. They're
Interesting.
generating so much revenue, they're shipping out so much product that their data is changing probably daily on what direction to go. So I think
So
it's
so well
fantastic.
run. So well run, right?
Absolutely well run. Yeah,
Okay.
it's so
That's all you can ask
great.
for.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in terms of shipping, if I mean, people have let's say the stereotypical TikTok user, which is not really stereotypical, it's probably, probably average age of 40 by this point. The
Mhm.
younger ones, they know much more shipping than going to the mall, right?
Yeah.
So for them, this is all baked in, the shipping cost, all of that stuff. This is how they're going to do it, and
Right.
especially more and more moving forward. Would you agree to that, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
No question, makes sense. Just a different way of shopping. So go to the malls, you do it online is essentially what this is, a hybrid of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So is that in mind the shipping? I guess if everyone else has the same shipping disadvantage or it costs more,
Mhm.
then I would think that would balance it out for the TikTok shop specifically. Let me ask you one more question. In your research, did you find any certain type of product or category is a dominant, like it just tends to sell better on there? Have you looked into that?
I mean, I've looked at a few stories of what did well. A lot of it is supplements, like supplements seem to do phenomenal.
Ah, those are
Uh,
just all
Again,
shit. Those
this
are
the cell phone holders are big, those things because when they're selling, you have everybody on TikTok is also making videos to support the video making aspect of their account. Those types of things are really, really high volume selling. So
I see a lot
yeah,
because I guess I was looking with my, company I'm building right now. I see a lot of protein bar stuff, things
yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Pretzels, supplements, those are all mostly shit. Those are all just worthless. And, I'm not gonna name any names, but I can tell you virtually all of them's a load of shit on that one.
Yeah,
That's what I don't want to do. And in terms of cell phone things, that would make sense that way.
yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah. I'm
Hmm.
sure clothing does really well. Anything that you can like mass produce, I think. Because like there's some interesting like vintage stores that I've been talking to and working with. And vintage is huge, like especially with this new generation. They
Reusable.
love
Sure.
not even retro. They're not so into retro, but real vintage stuff is
Mhm.
moving really well in the market. So eBay surprisingly didn't do very well in their earnings, but the vintage side of it is doing good from what I can hear. So
I see that
that,
quite a bit in San Diego, much
yeah,
more of the reusable stuff. There's
yeah.
still, fast fashion obviously is popular. You look at Shein or Temu, so it's a
I don't
given.
know,
But
I guess, but I
oh, it
think
is,
that
Brian.
I'm sure you're right, but I think that that's on its way
There's
down.
both. Yeah, I don't think it's on the way out. I just think we have a resurgence of vintage and reusable stuff.
I
Just
think
because you
fast
have
fashion,
one,
but
just might be a duopoly.
what
I
about
don't believe that at all.
Forever 21? Forever 21 just went bankrupt. That is fast fashion at
Okay,
its best,
forever
just brick and
that
mortar.
we could do from what I know about that, talking to
Mhm.
suppliers, we could do an episode on that easily. One of the reasons that they got caught short is what went out were just shopping in person. They over square footed themselves. They had those massive stores and
Yeah.
malls.
Okay.
If you ever look back at in 2025, say, hey, look, let's go back in time. What would me and you do? We'd buy Bitcoin, right? Let's go.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's just
Right.
say let's go to 2015. We would
Yeah.
buy fucking Bitcoin, and that's
Right.
it.
And
We'd
yeah.
come back here and we'd start yacht shopping, right?
Right.
Simple as that. We'd all get penis extensions and be on a yacht, is what I would do, right? And get those supplements on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
What we wouldn't do is, hey, let's go back and do a trendy clothing store of any kind, and we'll make these massive, gigantic stores
Right.
in
Have
the
these
best part
huge
of the mall, these
leases.
long-term leases that are expensive.
Yeah.
That's what we would not do unless we could exit by 2017, right?
Right. Right.
And that's what they did.
Mm.
What it did was it shifted to Shein, Temu, some other ones names escape me that do well. Those will always do well, Brian. I can just tell you about the American consumer. I've lived on it my whole life. They may talk about sustainable and they want it built in the US and they want hemp. That's not what they fucking buy. They're going to
Okay.
buy the cheapest stuff out there. It looks good. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do the same thing.
Yeah.
They love the disposable stuff. Both are coexisting,
Mhm.
among others. You have the rich one, it's just an expanding market. So recycle's always been there. Goodwill's always been popular. It's just gotten to the trendy factor. And who knows, in 5 years, that might be out as well. I don't like wearing used clothing. That's just me. It's not my thing. I'll do everything else like that,
Yeah.
but clothing just freaks me out. So I'm a dinosaur at that point, right? So there's definitely room for both of them. So I wouldn't rule it out. And the problem with selling vintage online, I think, is you just have one item to do.
Yeah.
It
You
has
have one
to be
item. You
collectible
can't
one.
repeat it. Yeah.
But if it's a collectible one and one part of your business, I don't know how much you want to get into it, you sell vintage stuff, which is spectacular. The items you sell are absolutely spectacular, one of a kind things, but your
Yeah.
price
Total
was a
total
thousand
side
dollars.
hustle. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But I was like, TikTok is kind of set up for those live sales events, though,
Yes, of those absolutely
right? So
is.
if you have, decently priced, great margin one-offs, and
Yeah.
you're just a one-man show, two-man show, you could do really well at TikTok selling your stuff. I think
There's
that's an
you've
opportunity.
heard of what's not? Is that the one that sell? Is it what's not? What not? Pardon me. What not?
Whatnot. Yeah, I've heard
Which
that.
is
I haven't
live stream.
played
It's essentially
around with it.
live streaming of collectible things
Yeah.
like that. Also, what is really big here in California, as malls have evolved, and just real quick, it's fascinating to me, is as malls have evolved or devolved, I should say, right?
Yeah.
Is you see there's a store, we have a big store here in San Diego called North County Fair. It's the biggest one. It's a suburb of San Diego. At one time it was the biggest one in the mall. There's a big gigantic Forever 21 right next to a food court. So again, what we talked about, the high-end malls, and it doomed them. Well, now that thing is a collectible little like mini swap meet indoor of collectible stuff. Just like
Oh,
about 80
interesting.
vendors in there, which is
Oh,
you're
I got to go in
curious,
there.
will that work in a mall? Right? Do people want to see that in a mall? Right? It's
Yeah.
new. Well, the ones I've talked to people that have been there and the guy behind it. And what really does well is the collectible stuff, the Pokemon cards.
Oh,
So
interesting.
all the collectibles, that's also a big booming thing,
Hmm.
which would be big for the TikTok shop, right? The
Yeah, no doubt,
collectible
right?
stuff. There's a visual appeal. It's a one of a kind, limited supply. I'm sure comics are on there. Like if they
Yeah.
had a Marvel guy selling Spider-Man 2 and 4 or
Shoot, I should.
Daredevil, I'm all over it, right?
You're right. I should make a TikTok account for this because I can have like all these vintage instruments, like guitars and
Yeah,
shit like that.
Brian, briefly tell us, because that to me that, and by the way, I saw your YouTube, it's fascinating. Tell me what you sell on the side.
Yeah, I sell.
It's
I have these
awesome.
like rare, really rad guitars, and I'm a horrible guitar player. I suck at it, but boy, they're so neat and cool. And I just have like Fenders and Rickenbackers and just really rare shit.
But
That
when you acquire them, you take them to a shop, and one of the top shops in San Diego.
yeah,
You get them all fixed up. They're all
mhm,
tricked out. You
yeah,
guarantee your stuff, and
yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that does well. So if
yeah.
someone
Because
sells 1,200,
right.
it's right.
Yeah, but
So
I learned that lesson that the stuff that I'm selling needs to perform, because it's not new stuff. It's like it could be 20, 30 years old, right? That I've
hopefully, yeah,
acquired.
right,
And I'm not good. I don't have a good ear. I'm not a good guitar player. So I would go every time I would meet somebody in person and they would play this guitar that I thought was so rad and perfect. They're just like, yeah, something's off. Like, this has a dead, a dead fret or something like that. And I'm
right,
like, oh, fuck, really? And so then I found this place in San Diego. I'll shout them out. It's the Repair Zone. If you're in San Diego, these guys are awesome.
fantastic.
So
They're
they totally
fantastic.
take
Yeah.
care of me. And the guitars are perfect when they get out of that shop. So I have like this. I have this really unique guitar that actually fucking performs, and that's a much better sell.
I would say that would be a good one. So I don't know how TikTok would do. Well, they like stuff like that. They want
Yeah.
the whatnot crowd. They want all of it. Clearly TikTok is not satisfied with being like an Instagram. There's nothing wrong with
No.
that. It's highly profitable.
Yeah.
They're clearly have been the Chinese model is a super app, right? Which is
Yeah.
what Elon Musk has babbled about before his,
That's what that's
hit
what
this.
X is becoming, right? That's the
Right.
plan.
Well, it's flailing, but it's becoming a far right Nazi show is what it's becoming. But in theory, that's what it become. But what he saw a lot with the Chinese culture. Me and you have talked about live stream before. It
Mhm.
never really kicked on, but what you're starting to see is TikTok may have figured it out for the American market.
Hey,
It's just
Danny,
you can see
did you hear the rumor that Meta is going to take Reels out of Facebook and Instagram and make its own app?
another just take over the world mentality.
That's a
Yeah.
great idea, though, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
it totally could be a much bigger competitor for TikTok if they did that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, do you ever look at YouTube Shorts compared to TikTok?
I
I
do,
don't
yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't as much. I should do that, for business wise to do it. I don't. I do YouTube a lot, but I notice I never do the shorts. TikTok is just so good at getting a good subject matter
Yeah.
down. Also, Meta's going to come out with a separate AI thing, which is like a Chat GPT or Perplexity or Claude, one of those type of deals. So
Oh, on the AI thing, did I also heard that Claude that you brought up is now integrated into Alexa from Amazon. Did you know
is
that?
that the one, right? That just got valued at like 54 billion or some ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
Anthropic.
Yeah, Anthropic. Yeah. So
Fuck. Why are we
that's
selling
interesting
shit
too,
on
because Claude's
TikTok?
good. I've played around with it.
Fuck.
I'm more Chat GTP, but I like Claude as
Wait,
well.
wait, Claude is I have not done that one because I don't do it a lot. Claude is it
It's
Claude.com or
it's
AI or
like it's like Chat GTP,
okay, same
right?
version. Do you ever
So
use
same type of thing, except it's a little cheeky.
like on purpose, like it's kind of smart assy kind of or
Yeah, a little more clever, a little more friend.
hmm,
I don't know, just a little bit more
that's their angle?
personality to the results you get.
That's interesting. No, there's just so many good. It's amazing what those are doing.
Yeah.
One of the things I can tell you, I use the Meta AI because it's simple. It's just like I said, prototyping for my new product. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
That has gotten so much better so quick. It's staggering.
It's great for ad copy. Gives you great ideas.
Do
Like
you ever
you
use
can.
use Runway's Edit, the one on Reddit? What is that called?
No, no, no. I use Midjourney.
Midjourney, that's right.
That's for video, not video, for
Images.
images. Yeah, text to image.
Are
Yeah.
you still using that one?
I don't use it as much only because I don't have anything to do right now.
Right.
And, to be honest, I have an Adobe account and Adobe, like, I'm finding for whatever they did, they're actually getting better and better. And there's more and more interesting images within Adobe to use in ad copy and things like that. So I
Okay.
don't need to make it as much as I did in the beginning with Midjourney. So
It's awesome with, having competitors that are highly competent and skilled and
yeah,
deep pockets has made it better for all of us. It's a classic case of why
yeah,
competition works so well.
true, true.
I don't know, maybe that. So, how much time are you gonna give the TikTok shop? Is this a serious or experimentation, or what do you,
How much
as a
time?
sales channel?
Well, I'm gonna go. I would say within a month, I'm going to look really hard and try really hard at it. And if I don't see a progression, it might, look, I don't know if my product is the right product for TikTok. It may
Mm,
not be. It's not going to be a big one. It's a massage candle, and there's a few. I don't know. There's probably more than a few. There's a lot of massage candles there in
sure.
TikTok shop, and none of them seem to be, doing crazy numbers.
Okay.
So, but it is something to look at. And you know what I do like about it is um, I don't do a lot of video for the product. So you have these creators actually making these videos for your
Mm.
product that I don't know, it could be something in there that I could use. I don't know.
So
Another
so the
aspect.
standard commission is 20%. Is that just how it
No,
is?
Danny, you can commission them whatever you want. And they can ask for whatever they want. So,
Interesting.
20% is just like I got to look at my margins and what I can do.
Sure.
And I can't do more than 20. But there's
That's
a lot of
interesting.
stuff that's like 50% commission or 80% commission,
Gee,
depending on their margins and what they're selling,
geez, what are they selling? Why aren't we in that business if we can give 80% sales cut to it?
right?
That is crazy on that one. Would you ever consider advertising on TikTok?
Yeah, totally. And I will do that too. I just haven't yet. I'm going to tackle the affiliate one first and
Mhm.
kind of get a feel for it because I don't want to advertise unless I have either what you do need is good videos. So I need to have a little video creation that we do and then look at the ones that the affiliates are doing and then figure out a good one that I could use in an advertisement because it needs to be compelling. There's not
And you've never advertised on YouTube, have you?
uh kind of. I have Google ads and they run on
Right.
YouTube.
But not YouTube specific, right?
No.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Or YouTube
It's
Shorts?
not a
You've been
video. It's not a video ad that's running on Google. It's just a static ad. So
Mhm.
I would think on YouTube you need kind of like a commercial. I don't have
Sure.
that. So it's
Right.
just a
Okay.
banner that would show somewhere. So not
Just
not
wonder how those work because everyone you just get pissed off when you see the ad, right? I mean, isn't it
you
just
have
like,
and you have to watch it, right? Yeah.
yeah, it's getting worse and worse. It just makes you resentful, doesn't it? That's why TikTok
No,
is
I
perfect.
actually think like I don't know about you, but I'm getting served ads that on subjects I'm actually interested in.
Yeah, kind of creepy. Yeah, we all get
Well,
that, Brian. Yes,
I'm typing in all the time into YouTube, so of
I
course it
know.
knows what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
I know.
And
It
so
knows a lot more on YouTube,
yeah,
Chief. I can guarantee that. It's a
I
lot
get
more
a
on YouTube.
lot of guitar a lot of guitar ads as well as like learn to play guitar, which I probably should do. Like I should actually do one of
Nah,
those.
that's a long-term process, dude. I used to play in a
10,000
band
hours.
years ago, and that is years long, dude,
Yeah.
before you
Yeah.
get any results at all in that one. So overall, how was your other Shopify ads doing? You were doing a little bit of that briefly. Give us a quick follow-up, your other ad going with Google,
So I'm
Facebook.
really just doing Google ads at the moment, testing those. I don't
Mhm.
really know a lot about them, so I'm learning. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos. I've finally got somebody within YouTube that I get to talk to every 2 weeks and try to optimize the ads. They're not working great, but the the thing about the Google ads is it's pay to click instead of pay for impression, whereas Facebook's pay for impression. So I give uh, an ad campaign in Facebook $100 a day, it's going to spend it. I give it to Google, it's not going to spend it. Some days it'll spend 50, some days it'll spend two, and then other days it'll spend 100. It just depends on, you know, um, it just depends at this moment.
Let me jump in there, Brian. So how much does it cost per impression on Facebook for people who haven't used it? Kind of give us a quick, and then the same for
Boy, Dane,
click
that
on
is it
Google.
is completely dependent upon your campaign and the
Do you set that in? How much you'll pay, or is it a bid word, or
you're
how does that work briefly?
you're giving a budget to the campaign, but you have
For
no idea how much those impressions are going to cost. And they'll cost a lot more until that becomes optimized. So you're gonna pay through the nose for at least 2 weeks or more, depending on how much your budget is. The more budget you give them, the more data they can get, and the more cost effective your impressions become.
And do you think that's legitimate? Is that a real thing, or they just
Oh
milking
yeah,
for
yeah,
money?
totally. Look, all of these advertising places, even Amazon, I would say, want you to be successful. They want you to sell
Sure.
products. The only way that they exist
The symbiotic
in this business
relationship.
model is to make sure that people are successful in this. Otherwise, why would people spend the money? You know,
Have
giving you all these analytics so you know exactly if it's working or not. And if they're
So
going
when you
to
get to
give you all that
Facebook,
information,
okay,
it better
uh,
work.
on the analytics, so let's say give them, let's say to say, or even about $100,
Mhm.
you don't come back when it's spent and say this, how many people clicked or how many
Yeah.
impressions, or
Yeah.
so
You look per day. Usually, I don't know if you can go into it per hour. Maybe you can. Like if you haven't spent all the budget, it'll show you what you spent that. Okay. So here it is. It'll, when you go on there to look at your analytics and you pick today, it's going to show you how many clicks you got, how many impressions, how much money you've spent. So yeah, it's real time.
so it shows impression clicks, everything, right?
Everything. Yep.
Seem pretty fair price considering, would you say?
It just honestly, Danny, it just depends. Sometimes, like, no, I don't. It's not always great. I mean, it's usually shitty. So you got to figure out how to make it not shitty, especially in the
That's it.
beginning.
I think advertising really, in my experience doing this my whole life, it's never really worked. That's why I was always apprehensive on
You're gonna
online
have to cross
advertising.
that bridge, Danny. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, I know. I
Getting,
know.
selling nuts online.
100%.
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting one of those sandwich board signs and walk around San Diego with a bell.
So,
Is that
yeah, I
not,
want to
is
see
that
that.
outdated or am
No,
I?
so, you do that. You take. I'll take your video. We'll put that on
Oh, there you
TikTok,
go.
and I bet
Film.
that will be successful.
How about I film it and you walk around like that, Brian?
All right. Well, it
Wow.
depends on how much you're paying
It
me.
is such an attention economy, isn't it?
Yes.
It's crazy. So what is the best ad format? Is it Google, Facebook?
I
Uh,
think. I mean, if you have product on Amazon,
in general, just in general.
you're gonna,
Amazon.
you have to advertise on Amazon, and that'll
Doesn't
be your most
Amazon work the
effective.
best by far of all of them, Brian?
I think so. Next is Facebook, and it depends on what you're doing. Facebook would be second because you can send Facebook to a website instead of Amazon or someplace else. But yeah, I don't know about Google. Honestly, I'm not impressed. I have not had success, and I just may not have the products to sell on there. But that's what it
Mm-hmm.
is. But as far as intention goes, I think we're about done with this podcast, my friend. I think our
That
attention
sounds good.
is
Well, good
set.
luck with all your stuff, Brian. Hopefully the stocks will turn around. Keep us
Yeah,
updated.
yeah. Tariffs.
Out.
Yeah. See ya.